multiplying rational expressions, what you have to do is you have to factor your numerator and denominators first, and then it's numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. Okay, so for multiplying, you would factor your numerator and your denominator. Okay, so I'm starting shortening these. Factor your numerator and denominator. Okay, and then it's numerator multiplied by numerator over top of denominator multiplied by denominator. So you basically can extend out that line, and I'll show you what I mean by that. We can extend out that line if we needed to, okay? Or extend fraction line, okay? And then cancel common factors. Or in other words, this is the same as what we did in 6.1, simplify. Okay, so I'll just read those again because some of you are still writing. We're going to factor our numerator and denominator. Then we will go numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator, or we can extend out that fraction line. Okay, and I'll show you on this example what I mean by that. Cancel the common factors, like the simplifying like we did in 6.1. Remember, the common factors, when I say count them, it's 1 for 1, and 1 has to be on the top, and 1 has to be on the bottom. Okay, so this very first one here, we have a squared minus a minus 12 in the numerator. Okay, so I need factors of 12 here that multiply together to get negative 1. So 3 and 4, and my 4 better be the negative, and my 3 better be the positive. Okay, so I will have, on my numerator, an a plus 3 and an a minus 4. Okay, I'm just simplifying what they look like by factoring them. What about this guy right here? What am I going to check for in that denominator? Difference of squares, okay? So, yes, it is difference of perfect squares. It will be an a plus 3 and an a minus 3. Now, some of you may be tempted to cancel that a plus 3 now, and that is allowed if you want to. I'm not going to, because I'm going to pretend that I'm going to do all my factoring first and my multiplying first before I cancel, but it really won't matter. Okay, times by, and factor this top one. Can anybody tell me the factors of that top one? Numbers that multiply together to get a plus 3, but add together to get a negative 4. Negative 1, negative 3. Good. A minus 1, a minus 3. Can anybody factor the denominator? What do I do with the denominator? It's not difference of squares quite, because the second term does have a 4, but it doesn't have an a squared, so I don't have difference of squares. What do I have, though? A greatest common factor of a. Good. So take out an a, and then an a minus 4. And I will tell you, this a is its own factor, so I often, so I don't get mixed up, put brackets around it. It's the same as a minus 0 or a plus 0. Okay, so I factored my numerator, I factored my denominator. Now I can rewrite all of this out. I can multiply all of these out. Now, when I say I'm going to multiply all those terms out in my numerator, I am not actually going to distribute them. That would be ridiculous. So, because you'd have way too many arrows, right? So, all I'm saying is I'm going to show bracket times bracket times bracket times bracket, which is why I say that you could just extend out your fraction line. Because technically, that's all that's happening. I have all 4 of these terms on the top, all 4 of these terms on the bottom. Okay? Now, I can cancel common factors. So, this one here, a plus 3 and a plus 3 could have canceled in the beginning, and that would have been fine. Okay? But now what you can see is this a minus 4, which is in the numerator, can cancel with the a minus 4 that was in the other term's denominator, because it doesn't really matter where they were at. Okay, what's the last one that cancels? A minus 3 down here and a minus 3 up there. Good. What is left over in the numerator? A minus 1. If there was more than one factor, I would keep the brackets, but you don't really need to keep the brackets here. What's left in the denominator? A. Good. Can I cancel these a's? No, that was a trick question. You can't cancel these a's because you have to imagine that they did have brackets, and are they the same set of brackets? No, they're not. So that's why you can't cancel those. Okay? Afterwards, does ask us to identify non-permissible values, and even if it didn't, you would be expected to write it. So look at the denominators, factored, before you cancel them. So we have 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Okay? These first two tell me that A can't be plus or minus 3. Good. What else can A not be? This other one that I crossed off would be 4. What about that A that's left all by itself? 0. Good, because it's like an A minus 0. So those are your 3 non-permissible values.